Thank you for stopping into Elements Designs. My name is El-Amin, and I will be showing you today some different polymer clay designs. Flashing before you are some different jewelry designs and some different techniques that we might touch on in the future as far as beading. But today we're going to stick with the clay and the polymer clay, showing you some caning style, specifically the animal print. These images before you are just some different designs, like I said, we'll be touching on later. But we will be talking today about the animal prints. Some nice earring designs we'll be working with in the future, combining patterns, things like that. Today we're going to be doing the cheetah pattern. All right, let's get started here. You want to start off with some clay. Get your preferred clay. I like to use the Fimo. Primarily, the Primo is pretty good. I think orange was out in Fimo that day, so I just picked up some Primo, and it's a little firmer version of the Primo clay. We're going to be making some different canes today. We'll be making just the cheetah, but these are some that we'll be making in the future. So please subscribe to my channel. This is the first of many to come, and I'll be showing a lot of different techniques. All right, we want to start off just by giving yourself a nice little cut off the orange clay. We're going to start off with two colors, orange and gold, starting off. Give yourself a nice ball. When I knead my clay in my hand, I do it until the clay is just slightly warm, at least like hand temperature. And you want to knead a nice smooth ball out so that you can roll it out into a nice pencil shape. Just a standard log shape, a little thicker than a pencil in this case. You want to use the backside of something like a butter knife. I think in this case I used a razor blade. Do not use a razor blade at home. That can be very dangerous. You don't want to cut yourself, but use something like the back of a butter knife, or if you have a special tool that you use. Another thing is I'm like more of a renegade style artist, and so I don't use a lot of the pasta machines and a lot of the tools that people normally use out there. I go along and I kind of just do things based upon what I have around the house. So you want to go ahead and take this second piece here and put a little indentation in there. You see I used a razor blade here. Not necessary. There's a lot of different ways to kind of get that effect. All right. So you want to make this one right here a little bit different than you did the first one. You can kind of follow the reading and my voice. I'll be saying probably one thing and the reading will say something a little bit different. The cool thing about the photographs that I liked is that you get a chance to see really like close up. A lot of videos that I've seen on YouTube don't allow for close-ups because a lot of people are trying to videotape at the same time they are working, and so that doesn't work. So I just thought this one would work out really good with some stills so people can get a real good chance. If you've been reading along, you can see here that we're going to do a couple of awkward things to the cheetah print. I always tell people, take a real good look at some cheetah prints if you want to work with that or whatever print you're working with, and you kind of see what's going on, and we're trying to reproduce that in a clay format. So that's pretty much what we're looking for, okay? You can kind of follow along and see what we're doing here with this third strip of gold. It's kind of into a tear shape. It's laying on its side so that the top of the tear shape is going to be off to your right-hand side. And that's just one of the potential patterns that we can make. I'm going to use that one today for the cheetah. Okay. All right. And then this black here, I flatten it out. You see my fingerprints in there. I probably use my hand to flatten that out. A lot of times I will use something as simple as like a can. I do have a roller that I use. I do have a professional pen that I use, but in general, I started off using a can, and so using the can is not that awkward for me. I like to use what I have, and like I said, it's kind of like a renegade, go for it type mentality. You can see here kind of like the thickness of the black clay. We're going to go ahead and wrap the orange up in the clay, and that groove that's there, that valley that you see there, we're going to end up stuffing the black clay into that valley so you can see how we're going to work. On this image here, there's actually a valley on top. It's really kind of hard to tell from this direction, but there's a valley on top. You'll be able to tell on the next image when we start to roll it up and stuff that black right in the orange. Okay, there's a little cut there. You want to just approximate that. You'll be able to tell over time, when to make your cuts. And even watching this tutorial, you can watch the first time, but you're going to still have to go back again and again and kind of work, you know, your ability until you get to the point where you feel real comfortable. You can see here where we're about to start stuffing the black into the orange and right into that valley that we made earlier. And you'll kind of see how that works out for us in the future, okay? You want to kind of do the same thing with all the pieces that you roll out. So we have the 2 gold to the left and the 2 orange to the right. And you see that last orange piece isn't even covered all the way. We want to leave it like that. We don't want to cover it up. We're not making circles, concentric circles. We're making cheetah patterns. If you look at a cheetah pattern really good, which I actually should have had up here for you, you'll be able to see that the spots on the cheetah don't necessarily make complete uniform circles, or do they connect? So we have to leave open spaces available for that. Okay? Excellent. I didn't have a picture to show of the white that I rolled out because it was just like the same sample as the black, except you want to make that just like a little bit thinner. And what I've done here is rolled that white around the black the same way I rolled the black around the orange. Those going to give you the orange and the gold. Those going to give you, that's going to give you a nice little dimension there. You're going to see how that works together. All right. And then when you roll those pieces together, what happened is the last photograph, I think there was 2 pictures, but you want to take all 4 pieces, your 2 gold pieces and your 2 orange, and we're going to put those together and we're going to be rolling them out. And also too, I'm going to post a video on how to roll properly. A lot of people have problems in the caning situation because of their rolling technique. Rolling is very important, and I'm going to show you exactly how you roll the cane out so that you get a nice even pattern going all the way through. And then once that cane is rolled down nice and smooth, you see here, go ahead and cut the tip off, and you can kind of see your pattern starting to emerge, pin a little peekaboo back there with you. You can cut it off both sides if you want to, or just cut it off the one side. A lot of people add a lot of extra clay onto their designs to make the patterns more precise, with add an extra little padding of clay on there. In this case, because we're doing something that's kind of abstract anyway, I don't feel so overly encouraged to have to add as much padding. As you saw in the last picture, there was a round cane. What I've done is actually made that round cane into a square cane. And if you look really well in this image, you'll see that the squares I've sliced off are pressed against each other. I rolled out a small tube, you know, out of a solid color clay, and I wrapped those squares like 2 squares per section around each one. And you can see all the ridges in there, how that works out. And then later on it comes together. See the big one in the back. You can still see after I roll it a little bit, there's some patterns coming together, but the one in the front is a little more rolled. You see the lines have kind of smoothed out. You don't see them in there as much. That pattern is starting to come together. And there's lots of ways to do a cheetah pattern. This is just one of them. And you can see from these patterns how some of the techniques we use by not wrapping the black all the way around the gold or the orange, how we get our separate results. In fact, I made probably maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 different types of cheetah patterns. That was just one of them. So that was pretty much it on making that specific pattern. We're going to be coming back talking about a lot of other different patterns in the future. I'm going to show you how to make a zebra pattern, a leopard, giraffe, tiger, a whole bunch. I mean, we're going to be putting different designs, maybe alphabets inside of clay, ankhs, crosses, kind of whatever you want to put into a clay. If you have a question about how to get something into a cane, you can give me a call, or you can give me a hit on my page. Shoot me an email. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel once again. We're going to be talking about combining different patterns like these images here. There's a lot of different combined patterns here to make really unique patterns. Sometimes just one pattern alone won't get it, so you have to combine them to make a really nice pattern. All right. I want to thank you for stopping in. I hope that you subscribe. And I'm here not only to show what I know, but I'm also here to learn. So if there's some technique that you can show me to kind of speed up my process, or something that might, be a little more workable for what I'm doing, please let me know. I'm here to share. I'm wide open to talk to different people. I'm on Facebook. You can catch me at El-Amin on Facebook, or actually probably better than that, catch me on House of Elements, and that's Elements spelled with an A. And that's it. I appreciate you much for stopping in, and we'll talk to you, or we'll see you on YouTube as soon as possible. Subscribe and look out weekly for a new type of technique. We're also going to be working on some hammering techniques with the brass and copper, as well as some beating techniques. Thanks a lot. Look forward to seeing you. And Aaron El-Amin is out for this week.